Hello, welcome to Barrett Mitsubishi. My name's Tim. I'm one of our sales managers for the used car department. Today we're going to talk a little bit about this 2014 Jeep SRT 8. So it's a Grand Cherokee, has the big motor, the 6.4 Hemi in it. What we'll do in this video is we'll do a complete condition report of the vehicle. So we'll go around the outside of the car and then actually have a look at the inside, all the options, and give a little bit of stats about the vehicle. But Kyle will come a little closer for me. So have a look at the front here. You can see the SRT has the real nice front spoiler there. If it gets down low enough, you can have a look. There is a front camera, or like a collision alert. So this vehicle does come with all the safety options. So you have the front sensors, a lane departure, and a forward collision alert warning in this vehicle. You can see you got the real nice chrome accents, LED running lights, the fog lights, and then there's a nice LED lights around the headlight there. Gives it that extra mean look for the vehicle. Condition wise, there's really no marks to point out on the front. No stone chips on the bonnet. The front bar looks really good. This vehicle's in very good condition. So we'll walk around here a little bit. Front guard presents really well. You have your nice 6.4 Hemi badge there. Brand new tires on the front, wheels in great condition. Got the red calipers behind there. So a lot of times you might see a little bit of gutter ash and things on the wheel, but this vehicle actually is really good condition. Going on back, you do have your indicator in the side mirror. Maybe one tiny little scratch there on the rearview mirror. No other real marks around the vehicle. Now this vehicle does have keyless entry. So in the Jeep, the Grand Cherokee, the keyless entry, you just push the button to lock, and as long as the key is close enough to the vehicle, you touch the handle and the doors all unlock for you. Going on back, no marks on the car. Looks really good condition. Another brand new tire, really good condition wheel, the red brake caliper there. Going to the back bar here, no marks on the rear bar either. So have all your SRT badging on the back, the Jeep, reverse park sensors. I don't think it's equipped with the tow bar, but if you did, this panel would pop off and you have the tow bar hidden, so it's not going to stick out in the vehicle. Since we're back here, we'll have a look at the boot. So power lift gate, you just push the button, reverse camera on there as well. Push the button, it raises up. So we do have the all-weather mat for the boot here. Cargo cover, there are 12-volt adapter in the back. Another thing about Jeeps, they do have this little torch in the back. So it charges with the vehicle, turn it on. If you're ever in the dark, need to change a tire or anything, and it just clicks in and out, but stays charged with the vehicle. Have a look under here. So full-size spare tire. This vehicle does have a tow bar actually, so the tow bar slides in here. You just got to pop that off to get to the tow bar. Little tool bag there, all your extra tools. There's a funnel here. If you ever had to put in fuel with a can, you do have to use the funnel, but all your tools, everything's in there. We'll shut that back and go around the rest. So when you want to shut the vehicle, just a button on the inside here, push it, it'll beep a couple times, step back, and it'll start to close. Condition wise, moving around, very good condition. No real marks on the back of the vehicle, nothing that stands out. That's nothing there either. Brand new tire, very good condition wheel, not a mark on it. Coming around a little bit, trying to be picky on it, but there's nothing to be picky on. There's no real scratching, no dents, no nicks, no stone chips. Windows are tinted, nice dark windows. Maybe a little bit of scratching here where you would reach in, maybe a fingernail ring, stuff like that. Very light though, it's not bad at all. Mirror in good condition, not a mark on that. 6.4 Hemi badge. So on the front, again, it's a brand new tire, but now this is the only wheel on the vehicle. So passenger side of the vehicle, this is the one that you'll typically find it on. Very light gutter rash on the wheel there. but that's the only mark on the wheel. Moving it around back to the front, no marks on the front. So what we'll do now is I'm actually going to pop the bonnet and we'll have a look under there to see what the vehicle has, what kind of condition that's in, go over some stats. So now we're going to talk about what's important on this vehicle. We'll have a look at the engine. So this is what makes it special. It does have that 6.4 liter Hemi. As you get closer here, you can see real good condition under the bonnet, real nice and clean. Now this 6.4 liter Hemi is petrol, 8-cylinder. It's going to produce 344 kilowatts of power with 624 newton meters of torque. You do have the 8-speed automatic transmission. We'll get around 16 liters per 100 out of the 91, or out of the vehicle. This is not a vehicle that you buy for fuel economy. It's one you buy because of the size and power of the engine. But now it does have a 91 liter tank, so you're going to get around 650 kilometers per tank. It does have 7 airbags in the vehicle, and if you were going to tow, it would tow around 2,900 kgs. Alright, so now we're going to look at the inside of the vehicle. We'll go over the condition of this and then all the options, and there is a lot of options that I can talk about. So we'll start over here on the right hand side. Now, being the SRT, this is the top of the line for the Jeep, so you do have your memory seats. You can have 2 different settings. On the door you have power mirrors, so select the directional pad there. You do have the auto fold, just push the button there, they'll fold in. If you want to push it again, they will fold out. Auto front windows, just regular back windows, a window lock button and a door lock button. You'll see here on the trim of the doors, trim of the dash, it's got a nice leather wrap on the doors, but then you have this carbon fiber trim as well. It's what they do in the SRT8, just makes it a little bit special, looks really good in the vehicle. Over here on this side of the steering wheel, you do have automatic lights. Adjust your brightness, and your fuel release button is over here. So the fuel door is on the other side, so it's good to remember that this is here, because if you get out, walk all the way around the vehicle and the door's not open, you do have to push this button. Going to the cluster and the steering wheel, I don't know if you can really see in the video, but it's a really nice blue and red color setting on here. There's a lot of different options you can go through with this SRT8. Let's just go here. So you have the fuel economy part there. Now this is averaging 13.2 at the moment, which is pretty good. Your adaptive cruise control, the settings for that's on there. Your terrain, tire pressures, you can switch from kilometers to miles per hour. Have a digital speedo, and you can actually change that over to an analog speedo as well, whichever you'd like. You can enter speed warnings if you want to look for diagnostic codes, and then you have the SRT performance page as well, which we'll go over that a little bit more when we get to the screen. But on the steering wheel you have a volume control on the back of the right hand side and a seek button on the back of the left hand side. Really nice paddle shifters. The other Jeeps have paddle shifters, but the Grand Cherokees do, but they're a little more plastic feel. These are a real nice metal filling to the heavy good quality in the SRT for the paddle shifters. On this side you do have your cruise control, so of course turn it on, set, accelerate or decelerate, resume and cancel. There's an adaptive cruise control, so you can set the distance between the desired distance between you and the car in front of you. So if they slow down, it'll actually slow you down, so you don't have to keep turning it on or off or slowing up, speeding down. It does it automatically for you. Those settings are all here on the bottom, and you can turn on the adaptive cruise control there. Let's have a look here on this side. This is a directional pad just to go through the dash cluster there. Then your phone control, so you can answer, hang up, and then use the voice recognition. Just on this side here is your wiper controls. So front, rear, and your indicators are here. It does have automatic high beams. If you just click it forward and leave it forward, when it doesn't sense the light in front of you at night, the high beams will come on. When it does sense the light, they'll turn off automatically. The wipers, you can leave those on auto as well, so they are a rain sensitive wiper. When you have them on, if water gets on the windscreen, it'll wipe it away automatically. Looking over towards the middle, like I said, it is a nice leather wrapped dash here with all the carbon fibers and things. You have the nice big display here. A lot of different settings in this. So you have, of course, your radio. You can go through your media, whether you want to play CD, which will be a changer in here, USB, auxiliary, Bluetooth audio, SD, or there's AV jacks as well. HDMI ports, there's a ton of different things, and we'll go over some of those options because they're in the back seat there. But so you have a lot of different media controls. Your controls for your heated and cooled seats be on this tab here. So you do have heated, high, low, and you have ventilated as well, so you can cool the seats. It's a perforated seat, which is really nice to have, especially because it's black, so in that heat you can turn on the cooled seats and it keeps everything cool. The steering wheel is also heated, so if it's a real cold day, you turn the heated steering wheel on, warms that up. Go to the climate. So most of it will be controlled here on this screen, which is just your standard climate, but you have a little bit of controls down here as well. Of course, this vehicle does have sat nav. There's not a phone connected now, but it does have all the phone settings. Let's have a look at the performance part for the SRT. Just give it a second to load. Okay, so this part here has a few different sections in it. So this is the home screen, just really has a picture of the vehicle. You can select the color of the vehicle and the options. So if you had this one being black is why this is selected as black, but you can put it as white, gray, or red, whichever you'd like. You have all of your timers, so you can set your lap times, do things like that. Looking at this one here, you have all the G-forces. Then there's two different pages for gauges. So this one has your oil temp, battery voltage, oil pressure. You can go down to the second one. They're going to have your coolant temp, intake air temp, and transmission temperature. Then you can actually look and see how the engine's performing. So you have the horsepower, kilowatts, you have the torque, the oil pressure, what gear you're in, and kilowatts and newton meters of torque. It's all here. This is a really neat little thing that just comes in the SRT8. As we go down, you have your volume controls. You can turn the screen off if you like, turn it back on, a back button there if you choose to use that. Your tuner for this side, then those little bit of standard climate controls, but most of it is controlled from the screen. Turn your parking sensors on and off with this button. You can turn on and off your forward collision with this button. It does have an eco mode, but that would very rarely be on, I'm sure. Because what that'll do is take a little bit from the acceleration of the vehicle. Traction control button there. Have a look in here, a little hidden compartment there. You'll have your auxiliary USB SD chip and a 12-volt adapter. Little cubby hole there. Coming back to this, so this is the self-centering shifter that Jeep has. So whenever you're in park and you want to go to drive, you would push the button and pull it all the way back to drive, and it actually goes back to center. Now when you're in drive, you can pull it back again and put it in sports mode. So that's the D/S there. Sports mode is going to really up the acceleration of the vehicle. Handles a little bit different than a regular drive mode would. But then to put it back in park, you'd push again and push it all the way up. And you can feel the different clicks in between the different gear selections there. Here we have the selector for what mode it's in. So you have different modes. You have track mode, sport mode, auto, snow, and tow. And on the dash, there is on that dash cluster, it comes up and shows you what mode you're in, different things. Being the SRT8, you also have launch control in it. I've never personally used launch control, but it is in the vehicle. Just that button there. Have a look inside here. So this part here, you have not much of a center console, but there's a little cubby there because they put the disc player here. So there are DVD players in the back, which I'll show you here in a second, but it's a Blu-ray or just a regular DVD player, or your CDs would go in here. And then you have a 12-volt adapter. Coming up to here, of course, you have your sunglass holder. You can open the lift gate with just a button there. Do you have a full panoramic sunroof? So it goes over the front and the back. You can open and close the vent, open and close the screen, everything with the controls there. Looking at the interior of the car, really good, nice interior. So the SRT has that nice SRT leather. There's badging in the top of the seats. In the front seats, you have the leather with suede in the middle, all in really, really good condition. And while the cameraman's looking around there, I'll talk a little bit about the back. So in the back seats, the kids in the back will both have their own DVD players. Have one of the screens up there for you. They can plug in HDMI, they can plug in AV jacks, there's USB ports, or just regular DVD player. You also have heated seats in the back. So you have the vent controls here, there's a couple USB ports, and then they actually have the option to turn on heated seats for the rear as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the interior of the vehicle. This is one of the most comfortable vehicles I've ever sat in. It's one of my favorite vehicles we have on the lot, actually. So one of the last parts of our videos that we do is have a look through the service books. Now, this vehicle only has 28,000 Ks on it, but we still give you a look just to make sure the vehicle was properly maintained. So looking through the books here, the first service was done. It's just a 1-month courtesy service that Jeep does. That was done at 1,200 kilometers. Then the next service was done at 12,000 kilometers, also done at the same place. One after that done at 24,000, 1 year as well. The 24,000 kilometer service was done at 18,000 Ks. Then the next one, it was done as an intermediate service only, which is for us. So it's had a standard service done, but then you just want to follow the books for the rest of that. So, all right, so that pretty much wraps it up for our 2014 SRT8 Grand Cherokee. If it's a vehicle you're interested in, feel free to call us here. You can ask for Tim or any one of the sales staff. Our number here is 9907-0555. Thanks.